Hi everyone, my name is Andy Robertshaw. Today is Thursday the 30th of June 2026. I've been asked to take a look at greater than daily killer Sudoku puzzle 31682. That's 31682. This puzzle is a level 10 from a few days ago. Let's get cracking. So 17 cage there is 8 and 9. 10 cage there is 3, 7 or 4, 6. That 4 cage must be 1, 3. So that was not a 3. That's not a 7. 5 cage there, 1, 4 or 2, 3. What have I got here? 12, 12, 9. Right, so the 12 cage is 3, 9, 4, 8, 5, 7, but not 3 there, not 9 there, because I've got a 3 there. So that's 12, that's 12, that's 9. That's 33 then. This is also 12, but not 3 and 9. So 4, 8 or 5, 7. So the 9 cage can't be 4 and 5 because it would take at both options there. It could be 3, 6. It could be 2, 7 either way round. Or it could be 1 and 8 this way round. So, what else? I'm just going to go for things a bit randomly. That's at least 18. In fact, that's possibly a good one to look at. So, they're at least 39. That one is at most 6 then, so it's not 7. So that's going to be 4 and 6. So that's not 6. That's not the 3 that would have gone with it. What could I still have here then? I've got 4 or 6. And 3 things to go with it. 2, 5, 7. So 2 plus 5 plus 7 is 14, and with a 4 it makes 18, with a 6 it makes 20. So that's all good. 12 cage there, 3, 9, 4, 8, 5, 7. Another one there. So this is a 13 cage, 4, 9, 5, 8, 6, 7. Yet another 12 cage, 3, 9, 4, 8, 5, 7. And I've got 7 cage as well, 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4, and 1 there. And I've got an 8 cage there, 1, 7, 3, 5, 2, 6. Right, that's a 21 cage. Nothing less than 4 can go in that one. Is there anything I can do with this 12 cage? Well, let's do the rest of this column first. So not 4, 6, 8, 9. I've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. So anything else? What can I have here? 9 for 1 and 2 there. And I have to have 3 and 6 there. That works. 9, 1, 2. I can't have 1, 8 or 7, 2 there, so 3, 6. 5, 7, 3 there. Yeah, that works. 1, 3 and 8 I couldn't have, because I've got 3 possibilities for what these 2 pairs that add up to 12 could be. If I've got 8, 1, 3 here, then I'm breaking into the 3, 9 and the 4, 8, leaving me with just 5 and 7 for that one and 5, 7 for that one. So we can't have 1, 3 and 8. 1, 5 and 6. So I've got 3, 9, 4, 8 and 2, 7 there. So I must have 3, 7 there. Yeah, that's about okay. So 1, 5, 6. 1, 7, 4, same problem. I've broken into the 5, 7 and the 4, 8 possibility there. In fact, I've got nothing left to add up to 12 for that one. So not 1, 7, 4. Right. So 2, 3, 7. Again, I've got 3 and 7. They take 2 of the 12 sums. 2, 5. I need another 2 there. 2, 7, 3. Same problem again. So what else? 3, 5, 4. Well, that takes up all 3 12 options. 3, 9, 4, 8, 5, 7. So not that. 3, 7, 2. Well, I can't have 3 and 7. It takes up 2 of the options, and 5, 7 is 12 already. So I need a 1 there to go with 2 or 5. So 3 and 7 can go. 1, 2, 9 or 1, 5, 6. So in fact I can get rid of 1 and 8 as an option from this 9 cage. So my... Right, I can't say what I was about to. I thought I had a 2 in that column, but I don't. I could have the 2 there. But I can keep looking at this 15 cage. 1, 2, 9 for 3, 6, 5, 7, 3. Or 1, 5, 6. Then I've got 2 and 7 there. 3 with 2 or 7. I can't have 3 and 2. Have to have 3 and 7 there. So if I've got 7, 2 there, I couldn't have the 7 on the left hand side. So 3, 7 and 5 there. So in fact, this 15 cage is going to be 3, 7, 5, whichever way round that goes. So I can take away 3, 7, 5 from here and 5, 7, 9 from that one. Right. Yeah, looking along this road, I've got only 4 or 6 there. I couldn't have 9 and 4 in this 13 cage because it would take up both remaining options for that one. So let's get rid of those. So 5, 8, 3, 9, 6, 7, 4, 3, 9. So whether I've got 5, 8, I've got 3, 9 there straight away, or 6, 7, 4, I've got 3, 9 there as well. So that 12 cage is 3 and 9. So not 9 there, not 3 there. Now I've got a 4, 5, 7, 8 quad in this box. So not a 5 there. That's 1, 2 and 9 for the 12. And that's 3 and... Sorry, it's 3 and 6 for that one. So 5, 7 and 3. So I've got a 6 in this column, don't want a 6 there. I now know this 12 isn't 3 and 9 because of those two. Also not a 3 there, not the 4 there that would have gone with it. Not the 3 there or the 9 that would have gone with it. The 8 cage won't be 3 and 5, and this one can't... In fact, can't have a 3 in that 7 cage at all. What can I have in these? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but not 5 or 7. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I could have any of the even numbers in those two. And I want 1 and an even number in those two. Yeah, one of the I've only got 3 even numbers. I want 1 more of them there. Okay. So the 9 cage here can't be 3, 6. It could be 1, 8, 2, 7, 4, 5. Can't be 3, 6. I've also got a 6 in this row, so that's not 6, that's not 2. That's not 6, that's not 1. That's not 6. Right. This is at least 6, so plenty of options left there. It'll probably come into play soon. That's not a 9. So anything else jumping out? Let's do the options for this 9. It's not 4, 5 because it would take both options for the 12 cage. So 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6. So maximum 11 there. In fact, maximum 18 there then. So minimum 27 between the four of those. Yeah, maximum 18, minimum 27 between the four of those. 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 is only 26. So in order to get 27 between those, I've got to have the 9 here. In fact, I couldn't have the 9 in there because it would have to be at least 12. It's got to be less than 12. So 9 there. And no 6. So it's 4, 8 or 5, 7 there. So this seems to be all about pairs of numbers that add up to 12 so far. Well, much of it is about that. I've also got a pair that add up to 12 there, a pair that add up to 12 there. I can't use the same pair twice because I have a deadly pattern. So in fact, this pair must be the same as this pair. Right. So I've got mine. In this box I could have 9 there or 9 there. Oh. Okay. So having a bit more of a look around, just seeing if there's anything else that's there that I'm missing. 2, 4, 5, 7 there. 8 could be in either column in this one. So this pair maximum 11. So I've either got 9 with 1 or 2 there, or I must have the 9 in this one. I think either look possible. Right. But what I am seeing, my 9 in this box must be in this column. My 9 in this box must be in this column. It must be top or bottom there. So if 9 goes there, I've got 1 or 2 with it. Right. This is jumping out at me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 4 of the 5 there. So of the other 3, my 1 and 2 must be 2 of those. But I don't know which 2. Right. My 6 is one of these 2 in this box. So can't go on the top row of any of those, so it must be in there or the 9 cage. If I've got 1, 4 there, I've got 5, 7. I've got 2 of 3, 6 and 8 there. But remember, maximum 18, minimum 27, so minimum 18 between the 3 of those. 1, 4, 5, 7, 3, 6, 8. Can't have 3 and 6 because I can only get to 17, so must have the 8 there. Must have an 8 as one of those. Right, 1, 4. Right, I'm still not seeing anything. This 12 can't be 5 and 7 because it would take both options for that cell. So let's get rid of those. If that's 3, I need 7 and 8 between those two to make that set up to 27. If it's 4, I need 6, 8 or 7, 8. So in fact I must have an 8 as one of those. If I don't have the 8, the most I could have is 4, 6, 7. And with the 9 that's 26. That's not enough. So can't have the 8 in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't have a 3 on the top row of that. So my 8 in this row is here or here. Alright. Okay, well, let's keep looking round. So whatever pair I have here, I have the same pair here. I can't have both of those there because it would clash with that one. So I must have one of this pair in the bottom half of this cage among those 4. I'm also aware of the fact I must have at least 11 there. So I've got maximum 5 and 7 there. Which is 12 to add to the 22, so that's 34. Those two are therefore at least 11. So no 1s there, no 9 there, no 2 there because I've got maximum of 8. Also no 3 and 6 there. Right. What does that tell us? This is more interesting than it first looks. I can't have both the 5 and 7 there because I know this one is 5, 7 or this one is 5 and 7. So that would clash with it. Also, I can't have both 1 and 2 there because then I've only got 35 between I've only got 25, sorry, between those. So we'd need 20 there, which I can't have. So I've got to have 1 or 2 and 5 or 7. So that gives me 6, 7, 8 or 9 between this pair. So 5 and 1 is 6, 5 and 2 is 7, 7 and 1 is 8, 7 and 2 is 9. So 6, 7, 8, 9 to go with 22 is between 28 and 31. So between 14 and 17 for this pair. So anything less than 5 can come out of that. Right. I've got a feeling we can get some more out of this as well. In fact, I now know I must have a 1 or a 2 there. I can only have one of 1 and 2 there. So I must have one of them there. I don't have... In fact, what don't I have there? I must have 5 or 7 here. And one of these is 5 or 7. So on the bottom row of one of these, out of 12, I've got 5 or 7. And I've got 5 or 7 there. In fact, I don't have 5 or 7 there. Right. Because that's a pair. So also no 5, 7 or 3, 6 here. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 9. That's all I could have there. So I must have 1 or 2 there, but I could have anything that goes with it. The 4, the 8 or the 9. Right, so... If we've got 8 and 9 there, so that's 8 there would have to go with 9, so that's 39, so I'd have to have 1, 5. 8, 9, 1, 5. Right. 8, 9, 1, 5. I must have a 7 in one of these. And 4 or 8. So this would be 2 with 4 or 8. In fact, the 8 would be bottom, so that would be 2 and 4. Which, that seems to work okay. But if that's 2, 4, that's 5, 7. That's 4. Right, okay. Maybe I'm talking nonsense, I don't know. Right. So 1, 4, 5, 7, 3, 6, 8. But can't have the... Could have the 3. Right. Okay. Yeah, so... Try it again. I've got to have 23 there. 1 and 22 or 2 and 21. Two there would therefore need to be with 5, 7, 9. 1 there with 5, 8, 9. 1 there with a 9 there because it's these out of 22. 2 there, these would out of 21. So 2, 7. I could have 6, 8 or 5, 9. 8, 9. Right. Okay, so that's a struggle. I've narrowed it down somewhat. We'll see what else we can do. In fact, I couldn't have 4, 8 there at all, could I? Then I've got 3 there, and I'm out of options here. So let's get rid of that one. 4, 8. That's 5 and 7 left there. So this one's going to be 4 and 8. That's 5 and 7. Right, so 4 and 8 can go from this one. That's 2, 6 there. So that's 4, that's 6. So 2, 4, 6 can go from that. There's 1 and 8. So the 9 that's parallel to it can't be 1 and 8 because that would be a deadly pattern. Also not 4 there, not 5 there. Not 4 there, not 3 there. Not 4 there, not 8 there. Right. Not 2, 4 or 6 there. So that's 5, 7 with that one. So that one isn't 5 or 7 because those two would form a deadly pattern with that one. Right. So we're getting somewhere now, I think. So 1 or 2 with 4, 8 or 9. So I could get rid of 5 and 7 from that, leaving me with 6, 8 there and 5 and 7 in that one. So I've got to have 5 or 7 there and 5 or 7 inside that 9 cage. It's 2, 7 or 4, 5. So 5 and 7 can go. So that's not a 5, that's not a 2, that's not a 7, that's not a 1. So, does that tell us any more about this? Well, firstly, I've got to have a 1 or a 2 here, as we established earlier. I can't have both the 7 and 5 there. So 2 there will go with 6, 1 there will go with 6. So I've got a 6 as one of those two. So no 6 there. That one's a 2, and that one's a 6. So not a 6 there, not a 1 there. Not a 6 there. So my 6 was one of these on the bottom row of this box. So what else? I've got a 2 in this row, so that can go there. I've got my 2 there now, so that's going to be 6 there and 1 there. So I couldn't have had both the 1 and the 2 there because I can't have 20 there. So that's 7 and 1. So not 1 there. Got 4, 5, 7 triple there. So that must be an 8. So not 8 there, not 4 there. So got 5 or 7 there. So 2, 4 or 9 in that one. Right, so we're getting on well with it. So 4 must be one of those two. It's not that one. So what's my total here? Got 22 and 8. Got a total of 30 there. So those two are 15. In fact, I've got the 8 there, so that must be 9 and 6. So no 9s there. That's 5 and 7. I've got a 1 in that row, so 2 with 4 or 8 there. So I can put this set in now. 3, 4, 5, 2, 8. But not a 5 on the top row. Not a 3 in that column. Right, so what else? This must be less than 12, so I can't have both the 5 and the 7. Must have the 4 there. Yeah, we've established that. 4, 7, 1, or 4, no more than 3 in that one. In fact, of the small numbers, 1, 2, 3, 1 could go there, 1 could go there. The third one's got to go somewhere. It must go there. So that's going to be 3 and 9. So that's not 3. That 5 cage is now 1, 4. So that doesn't have a 1 in it. So that's 2, 7 or 3, 6. But the 12 cage isn't 4 there. 12 cage is 5 and 7. So this one is going to be 3 and 6. So 5 and 7 can go from that one. So not a 4 there. 5, 7 pair there. So no 5 in the 7 cage. 1 6 there, 2 there, that one's an 8, that one's a 5, so no 5 there. I've got 2 and 9 between this one and the top one in this column. I've got 2 and 4 in this column already, so that's an 8, that's a 4, and that's a 2, so that's 10. So, in fact, I've got 2, 4, I could only have 5 there, so I've got 11 there, which is more than the 10, less than the 12, so that's good. Must have 1 and 9 here, but I've got a 9 in that row, so 1 and 9 there. And have I come unstuck? I'm okay. So I've got... Right. I must have put these in wrongly as candidates. So let's... What can I have? Not 9, so 2, 4. No, not 4, sorry. 2, 6. 2 must go there, 6 in that one. And I've got 3 and 4 between those two. And I've got 7, 8, 9 left to go there. In fact, that's a 7, that's a 5. That's a 7, 5, 7. That's going to be an 8, so no 8s there. I've got a 1 in that row, so 2 and 1. 3, 4 pair, so that one's 5. I've got 9 there. I've got a 5, so that 9 cage is 2, 7. That one's a 4. That's a 7, that's a 5. That's an 8, that's a 1. And a 2 and a 7. Right, so they're in the 3 and the 4 are in different cages, but they're not interacting with anything, so I can't have a 3, 4 pair there, deadly pattern. So that's 2 or 8. I've got 7 in that row, so not there. I've got 2 and 8 in this column. In fact, 3, 4 pair there. So 2, 8 pair there. So what have I got here? So 2, 8 with 6, 9. But not 2 or 6 there. 3, 4, 1, 5. But not 5 there. 3, 4, 2, 8 and 7. But not 7 there. Right, so in fact the only place I got for a 1 in this box is that one. In fact I can... Yeah, I've got to have a 1 on the top row, on the top row, on that row, but it couldn't have been there anywhere else. So it's the only place in the row for a 1, I should probably have said, but I can eliminate 1s from anywhere else. I've got an 8, 9 pair there, so not 8 there. I've got a 2 as well, so that's a 4, and that's a 3. So let's do away with 3s in that box. In fact, that one's a 4, that one's a 3, so they're 4, 5. So 4s can go as well. So 8, 9 pair there. I can't have 7, 9 with a 2, so that one's not a 2. I can't have 7, 9 with that 2 either. So my 2 must be on this row. I've got a 7 in that box. I've got a 4 as well. 2 must be one of those. So that's a 5. That's a 2. So that's a 4. That's a 5. Total of 13 there. So it has to be 6 and 7 to make up this 18. So not 7 there. Not 6 there. So 2, 8, 9 there. I've got a 6 on the bottom row. So 3 and 6 there. I've got 3 on the bottom row, so 1, 3. Got 1 on the bottom row, so that's 4, 1. Got 7 there, so 8, 9 there. So, in fact, 8, 9 pair there. That one's a 7. I need that to be an 8 to make it more than the 5. So 9, 2. That's 8 and 2. And 9 and 8 and 8 and 9 and 4 and 3. There we go, that's it. Well, thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful. I'll see you on the next one.